Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. It is Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture as we come to you every Saturday night. I am Kathy along with...
I'm Kenny.
Oh my gosh, you hit the cue.
I hit the cue.
You hit it.
I hit the cue.
Usually, you know.
I think that's because
left.
I have this Mac and I'm on point with you at the same time.
Aha. You finally got you a Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I am tied up in my cords. Oh my Lord. My cords.
It's a family show.
What?
We don't
There's nothing
need to
bad
have
about
you-
me being tied up in my cords.
Okay.
Well, why do you gotta make everything sound so horrible?
Yeah.
Anyway,
How are you this week?
I am much better. I was out for the count like Thursday. I just I probably should have kept my butt in bed, but I got up anyway. I was just experiencing some symptoms, some scary symptoms. I did go get swabbed, and thankfully got my results back this morning. So I am still negative. I'm riding with that whole theory of blood type O negative is kind of
Yeah, I had the same blood type. I had the same blood type. So yeah.
You have the same blood type?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm no negative.
We might be related. You know what else I did today? And well, again, I was feeling so much better, but I also got my 23andMe kit in the mail. So
oh wow, you went to that?
Your son inspired me to do that. So
yeah, I need to save up and get one of those. Maybe next month I get one.
So
I want to get one too.
Anyway, we want to say hi to all our pop culture kids out in the audience. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on Saturday night. We've been doing this for, oh my goodness,
over a year and a half.
Over a year?
Over a year and a half.
Like a year and a half. It started.
It's going on 2 years. It's going on 2 years in April.
2 years in April? Wow. Anniversary time.
Yeah. 2-year anniversary in April. Baby.
I have to actually go back and look at the dates. So, and again, we've been just kind of hanging out. It was started as our way of dealing with the quarantine, and we hadn't had a chance to see each other. We did get to see each other last year, and we've done a couple shows in person, but for the most part, we kind of just hang out here online and chat all things pop culture. And I guess the last 2 weeks, it's kind of been a little depressing because
I know.
Last week we focused on all the people we lost in 2021 and all the pop culture icons and figures. And this week we were going to actually talk about some of the new movies coming out or expected out for 2022. And we still will, right?
We'll do that. We're going to do that. We can do that. You can do that. You can do that.
And actually,
hey,
we might, for the 3-year anniversary, we might have to change the show to just like either Pop Culture Kids or Kathy, Kenny, and Ed talk pop culture, because Ed is our brother from another mother and father, and is always hanging with
what's
us.
going on, buddy?
And we love it, appreciate it, even if he is a little, I don't know, wrong thinking with the whole Die Hard.
You know what? Get off Ed's back. Get off Ed's back. Get off Ed's back. Get off his back. You're gonna have to get way off his back about that.
You know what? We also have another pop culture kid who usually joins us every week, and that's our dad. But you know what? He's probably not going to be with us this week because he is a diehard Eagles fan, and the Eagles are playing.
I sent
them
a
Cowboys
couple of friends
tonight,
who I know are watching the Eagles game tonight. The thing about tonight's game is it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter who wins or lose.
It really doesn't matter.
It really don't matter who wins or lose.
It's
like they're both in the playoffs.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Right now the score is okay, and I know you're kind of like not on the whole football thing.
Yeah, what's the score though? What's the score?
But okay, you know what? Let's see if I can. Oh wait, I do have the score. And look at this. Smell me. There's the score. 7-7. 7-7.
7 to
So we
7.
will give you score updates throughout the
And
broadcast.
7-7 in the first quarter.
All right.
I
7
don't even know.
7.
I don't even think the
See, Ed
I
had it.
don't even think the starting squad is playing.
Okay. So it's just like,
Like
because
with
I was
guys
asking
being
Daddy, I was like, why are they playing on a Friday? And I
on
mean,
a
a
Saturday.
Saturday and
Well,
not
it's
a.
because college football is over, so now they got Saturday available for football, so NFL is playing today, and this game is almost like a scrimmage, almost like a preseason game because you're going to have all the second and third tier guys playing. It doesn't really count for anything.
Okay.
It doesn't matter either
Well,
way
it
who wins
always
or
counts
loses.
if you could beat the Cowboys. I mean,
I understand that. It always counts if you can beat the Cowboys, but if they don't beat the Cowboys, it really they don't. Hold on, I'm gonna act like I'm still into the NFL. If they don't beat the Cowgirls, then
ouch.
it's it doesn't matter because we'll get past the first round. Eagles will get past the first round, where the Cowgirls probably won't. There you go.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'll put it out there
How
like
was your
that.
week
My
as you drink from the
my week was very it was semi-productive in
okay.
some ways. I got the car inspected this week.
Sweet.
Um I hung some foam in the studio. I hung some foam Tuesday night and I did it the wrong way. And you know me, I'm not a constructive type. I can't look. I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I'm an
You're a
actor,
lover, not a
comedian.
fighter.
I'm a lover, not I can't build anything with these hands. Okay.
Maybe
These
build a
hands
bear.
these hands are for picking up my phone and calling somebody to do it. That's what these hands are for. It's not doesn't make me less of a man. It's just that I'm good in other areas, not with tools. Don't give me tools.
Don't give you tools.
Don't give me tools. Don't put a hammer in my hand and expect something to get nailed. It's just not.
Not the way your world works.
No, it's not the way my world works.
No,
But I was able to go in the studio and do some work on the studio. And then tomorrow, I think I'll spend the day doing some more studio work. You know where I just came home from, though?
where?
I was hanging out with Milo.
Oh, Milo, he is
Hello.
Milo. He's so funny. You know, I was looking on my phone and I was looking like at a picture of him from like June, and then the pictures from Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm sorry, from Christmas time. It's like he's so much
He got way
bigger.
bigger.
But he was just so funny. And
Yeah.
when our dad had to take a call and he wanted some privacy, so he went in Milo's room, but he made the mistake of sitting in Milo's, like story chair. So he sat in the rocking chair. So Milo was like, okay, it's time. It's on.
time. Yeah.
And so he went on in there, start climbing on Papa's lap and just like, psh. He was like, wait a minute, where's my story? Put
Yeah,
the
what's my
phone
story?
down.
Like, you're supposed to read me a story, man. Like, what are you doing?
Put the phone
You-
down.
You're in the story
And
chair.
give it the story time.
You're in the story chair. You need to read the story. There's Dad right
Oh,
now.
he is there. He is hanging out there.
But
He was
yeah,
watching the
so
game.
I was hanging out with him, and Milo pretty much runs that house.
Oh, I know. Well,
He runs
again, one time when they were in there and I started walking towards the door, Milo came, shut the door as if, sorry, no girls allowed. It was like,
you're not allowed in here. You don't have to. Yeah, nah.
So okay, I was going to do another. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm doing something. Back to live mode. Yikes! I did something crazy in. Okay. Oh, but there you go. My score update. I'll just give you those throughout the show. So Eagles fans, don't worry.
Yeah, don't
It
worry.
really doesn't matter.
We got score updates here. We don't have play by play, but we got your score updates. But what we're really here to talk about is
Right.
this
Nice
week.
topic. Mhm.
Yeah, this week we're going to celebrate the life of Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier passed away on the 6th of January, which I know kind of is a depressing thing because we just lost an icon like Betty White, and then you lose an icon like Sidney Poitier. It's just like a double hit 2 weeks in a row. But we're going to celebrate the life of Sidney Poitier. I spent my evening last night watching my favorite Sidney Poitier movie, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I know that's one of your
My
favorites.
favorite Sidney Poitier movies, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? And I was trying to watch, it used to be on one of the channels I had on my Roku, A Patch of Blue, but now it's no longer on there. You have to pay for it to watch extra. So I didn't want to watch it that bad. So I didn't. I didn't pay the $3.99 to watch A Patch of Blue.
So you had to pass on A Patch of Blue.
I had to pass on a Patch of Blue.
$3.99, was that was just to rent it, or
$3.99 to rent it. And I'm good.
You know, and I guess because when famous folks pass away, although you know what, our mom posted a picture on Facebook, and it was a picture of like Cicely Tyson, Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, and I forgot who the fourth actor was. But I didn't realize that Harry Belafonte is also 94.
Yeah,
like,
Harry Belafonte
I don't know what's in the water up there.
Cicely Tyson left last year.
In the black section of Hollywood, but
yeah. Cicely Tyson left last year. You know, Betty White left, a week ago. Sidney Poitier died this week. Somebody check on Harry for me, please. Just check, make sure Harry's okay. I just need an update. Somebody check.
Somebody just call Harry.
Just call Harry. Yo, Harry, what's up, man? You good? You good? Okay. Boom. That's all I need. I just need somebody to check on Harry. Check on Quincy while you at it too, because Quincy's up there too. Check on Quincy.
Quincy, I don't know. He's had like brain surgery and everything else, and he has
check on Quincy.
Somebody called
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne, yeah, he was in that picture too. Yeah.
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne was in it, but Lawrence Fishburne's he's relatively pretty young and pretty spry, and it's still the acting and still stuff. But you never know, but still, But anyway, we lost Sidney Poitier this week. Sidney Poitier was born in February 20th, 1927, and he passed away in January 6th, 2022. He was a Bahamian actor, American actor. Bahamian, not Bohemian, Bahamian. Actor, film director, and ambassador. He's no.
That up.
I did. But I'm still moving. I'm moving forward.
Here's the thing, though. His parents were Bahamian, but and again, they were farmers, and I guess they were bringing their crops to Miami, and he actually wound up being born in the United States because it just so happened it was during one of the times when they were I guess bringing crops this way. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and
he had that dual citizenship because he was actually born here.
And eventually the family all moved to New York and Harlem section of New York.
Well, I thought no, and I think actually initially he came here at 15 and lived with his brother in Miami, and eventually I guess the family moved to New York, and that's where he again had the opportunity. Oh, there's a picture I was talking about with Cicely Tyson, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, Lawrence Fishburne, who I always forget that he was a child actor.
Yes, Lawrence, he was.
Cornbread Earl and Me. Remember that?
Cornbread Earl and Me, yes.
Cornbread Earl and
Me. What a plan. And a basketball in his hand. He's cornbread.
Kenny, what's the rule about singing?
I know, but he's a man with a plan. And a basketball in his hand. He's cornbread.
No singing. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Actually, who did that theme song? That was probably only a soundtrack of the 70s, not done by Curtis Mayfield. Bad Kathy. Anyway, that's all I think Curtis Mayfield did in the 70s was soundtrack. But in any case,
him and Gladys Knight. And the Staple Singers. Speaking of
And this,
Staple Singers, like they did one of oh wait a minute, hold on a second.
what?
Okay.
What you
No,
got?
I'm still having trouble working this Mac.
So we got to do a
I'm s-
MacBook 101
yeah, we
tutorial.
gotta do a MacBook 101 for me because it's the MacBook 101 for me. I'm having issues and problems.
And actually, I will send you a couple of links because there are people who really do a good job on YouTube, kind of explaining like how to go and how to do things on the
Yeah,
MacBook.
don't send me the links.
They'll send you the links. You don't want to.
No, I
Oh
can't I
yeah,
can't learn
like
like
half the
that's
things you
not
need to.
I don't learn I learn by actually doing. I can't learn by the links. I learn by actually doing and having somebody who knows what they're doing sitting next to me and showing me. If you teach me
Oh
if you
yeah,
give me a
how'd that
tutorial,
work for you when when your son was
yeah,
telling you to yell at the computer?
he's
Oh,
an
that was
idiot.
so funny. You
It
have to
wasn't
tell that
funny.
story.
It was, last week I didn't know how to work the Mac. I didn't know how to work the MacBook the right way.
I'm
I
sorry.
couldn't get
I gotta go laugh for a
Google. I couldn't get Google on, and I called my son because I knew he knew, and I said, "Hey son, um, how do I get to Google on this thing? I sound like a total old person. How do I get to Google?" He says, "All right, well, you see all those tabs down the bottom?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Don't worry about that." He goes, "See at the top where there's the camera?" I said, "Yeah." He says, um, "All right, next to that is the microphone." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Lean over and yell into the microphone, Google." So I lean over and I yell into the microphone, Google. He goes, I said, "Nothing happened." He goes, "Get closer." And I get closer, I go, Google. He goes, I go, "Nothing happened." He goes, "Get closer." I get closer, I go, Google, Google. So I'm yelling to the computer, Google. And then he starts laughing and he's like, "Yeah, that's not how it works." And because he had me sitting there going, Google, Google. Meanwhile, I learned tonight when I was over there, his wife was listening to him do this, couldn't hear me, and she's like, "What the heck are you doing?" And she had me going Google. See, she starts cracking up. Then my roommate was in the kitchen, which is next to my room, and I come out. He's looking at me, goes, "Was that your kid on the phone?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, he kind of messed you up, didn't he?" I was like, "You know what? He's got me yelling Google." He said, "Yeah, I heard you yelling Google." I was wondering, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, he wants to make Kenny Walker the butt of jokes. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But I'm like,
It's how it
Google,
goes
Google,
sometimes. Google.
and you know what? I'm
It
actually
works.
moving closer, and I'm like, up this close, like Google, Google, and nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening. Well, and again, some of those YouTube videos, well, it is a source to learn just about anything, even those things you think you can't do and aren't handy at. If you go to the Google machine, maybe not yelling Google at it, but YouTube is a search engine, just like Google's a search engine.
I
You can probably find something that will take you through step by step what to do, setting up your Mac and making it useful. And I'm telling you, once you go Mac, you don't go back. Well, again, I have to go back because there's certain programs that work that I do need. On Lenovo, and I'm using Windows 10, but I you know, watch, iPad, phone. I'm like 100% into the Google. The Google. See, now you got me calling Google
yeah, I
into the
know.
Apple
See,
ecosystem. So that's just how I'm living. And no denying he is your son. That is funny. And shouting out to Ed in the comments. Let's see
Dion,
what the score is. Uh-oh, it's not looking good, people.
what's the
I know
score?
you said doesn't matter. It's 10-7. So somebody got a field goal.
It doesn't matter.
The Cowgirls got lucky.
It
Just
doesn't matter.
giving you those updates. It really
It
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
It really doesn't matter. It really does. What movie was that from? That was from
Was it Meatballs or was it was a
Meatballs.
movie?
It's Meatballs.
Was it Meatballs? I think it was
Santos is in the
Meatballs.
house.
Hey, Miss Santos. Yeah, we are talking all things Um,
Portier tonight, yes. And,
Sidney
and and while we're talking all things Portier, tell us what your favorite Sidney, if you have a favorite Sidney Poitier
Poitier.
movie.
And you know what? Not just the movies he starred in, because I know Kenny said his favorite Sidney Poitier movie was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. I know he loves that, but To Sir with Love was another really good one. And I was watching some clips too, and In the Heat of the Night, when oh man, he just
That okay. Um, To Serve with Love is a good
oh,
one.
thank you, Miss Santos. I actually was saying earlier how Tuesday I was having like the headaches, diarrhea. Well, I didn't say all that, but
Yeah,
just all
don't
these
say all that. We don't need to
symptoms.
know. TMI.
I'm
TMI.
sorry, that's oversharing.
TMI.
But
TMI.
hey, it's out
It's a
there.
it's a
And
family
it's
show.
just a weakness. I really thought, I really thought I had the COVIDs.
Lilies
And
in the Field is another favorite of mine. I've never seen Lilies in the Field.
I was still telling my story,
Okay,
but
I'm
I got
sorry.
my
Go ahead.
test results back and they were negative, but I got swabbed anyway. But again, I need somebody to give me some research or tell me what the deal is with O negative blood, because I think that's
Yeah,
helping
I
me out.
know. That, that
Or
that's helping me out too,
is
I
anybody
think.
doing research to show how many people
And
have
I'm
got
I'm a
it?
Highlander, so
Blood
I'm
types are.
pretty much I'm an immortal.
Okay. Anyway. All righty. Lilies of the Field is another favorite of mine. I know. I
I've never
really,
seen that one. I
you
want to see
never
that
saw
one.
Lilies of
No,
the Field.
I
That's
never
the
seen
one where
Lilies in the Field.
he was helping the nuns.
Yeah, I never seen that one.
That's actually the performance that he won an Oscar
Yeah,
for. And
that's what
you know
people
what trips me
memorize.
out? Do you know what year he won that Oscar?
The same year you were born.
Yeah, exactly. My gosh.
He won the movie came out in '63 and he got the Oscar in '64.
64. Yeah.
And
Um,
he
I'd have to say another favorite of mine, and I am biased, is probably Raisin in the Sun, and in part because it was a role that he took from Broadway, a theater role, and brought it to the big screen, but also because I had a chance to perform in that play. So I'm sorry, something about once you have worked on a show or worked on a play, whether it's as a director or performer or even a part of the backstage crew. I don't know, for some reason those shows kind of always resonate with you or have a special place, or at least for me they do. Because I remember in high school being a part of a production of Oklahoma, and
oh
you
yeah,
know, yeah, were you in that production of
I wasn't in
Oklahoma?
that production of Oklahoma.
I wasn't
Oklahoma. I do remember you being part of Oklahoma. Yes.
I wasn't actually on stage. I was kind of like part of the backstage presence. But anyway, but last not even last year. Last year was 2021. 2020, I got to appear in the Hickory Theater production of Raisin in the Sun,
And
and
she
I
was
know
great
that
in
was
that.
a performance that was just kind of like made famous by uh, Sidney Poitier. He also appeared in Porgy and Bess. Um, I I think, and again, he probably came to my attention probably more, not so much for the older films that he did. And I know Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was one of those classics. Oh yeah, I was just talking about Raisin in the Sun, which was epic. But one of the In the Heat of the Night, I also had mentioned that one, but the Defiant Ones. But there
Yeah,
was
I
just
remember
something
I seen that one with Tony Curtis.
with Tony Curtis, yes, and
Yeah.
there was just something about, um, I guess a couple of those movies. I think they all came out in the same year. The Defiant Ones, or no, not the Defiant Ones. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner was what? What year was that?
67.
67, In the Heat of the Night, and To Sir with Love were all in 1967, and they all kind of really dealt with themes that around race, which was for that time in our country's history and film history, not a lot of people had dealt with that. at all.
Did I ever
Yes,
tell
Raisin
you?
was.
Did I ever tell you what my when I was in high school theater, what
Mm-hmm,
Miss Lavelle said about me?
mm-hmm.
He told Dad this. He told me this. He said I would have been if I wanted to be an actor. He said I would have been better if I'd have been born earlier and came up in the '60s and been like a Sidney Poitier type. He was talking about my acting.
Oh wow! Excuse me.
Because I was at the time I was doing a role. We did a production in my junior year of The Bad Seed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was the janitor in The Bad Seed. Now in The Bad Seed, the movie, the janitor I believe was a white guy. I was the only black guy in the production, and I was the janitor. And the way I played it like a wise guy.
Mm-hmm.
I played like a smart guy. Like I totally played it. I didn't play it the way Miss Lavelle thought I would play it, and I totally played it up. I was kind of like, I think in my mind I had like Florence from the Jeffersons in my mind, and that's the way I played it. Like
Okay.
I was smart aleck.
All
I
right.
was
That's
subservient, but I was a smart aleck. But he told, he said that I'd have been better off as an actor if I'd have been born in the '60s. So, or if I was coming up in the '60s, I guess born in the '50s and coming up in the '60s.
okay. And
So,
as always, Ed is bringing the facts and bringing, the stuff that we don't always have and that we miss. That along with his name uttered in the lyrics, a photograph of Portier is held by Busta Rhymes in the music video. Give me some more, which I don't know, but again,
yeah,
my
I know
rap
it gives so.
skills are like
But
not.
oh wow, hold on a second. Also, too,
I think
I've
that
never
was
seen Little Nikita.
Little Nikita. Because the other thing we didn't talk about too is that in addition to being an actor, he was also a director.
Yes,
And I know in the 70s, him and Bill Cosby teamed up for a series of movies, Uptown
fantastic
Saturday
movies.
Night,
Fantastic
and
movies.
then
Let's Do It
Let's
Again.
Do It Again, which he directed.
A Piece
Which
of the Action.
A Piece of the Action. Yep.
Let's
Yep.
Do It Again. A Piece of the Action.
And I don't know if people know he also
Which
was the
one?
director of Stir
I
Crazy.
didn't know that until I did the research for this. I didn't know I forgot that he directed Star Crazy.
Oh
Yo,
yeah,
what you
yeah.
doing, man? I'm getting bad. You don't mess with you, be bad. That's right.
That
That's
was
right.
Richard Pryor and
You
Gene
bad.
Wilder and Stir Crazy, but it was directed by
Direct.
Sidney Poitier.
Eagle scores now 10-10, Ed says.
Oh, 10-10? My thing didn't
10-10.
update.
Ren 10-10. Okay, so anyway.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
I'll
You
get it
know
was.
another other fun fact about Sidney Poitier?
What is that?
He was the prototype. They based a superhero off of Sidney Poitier in the '70s.
You know what? Is there not a show that there's two things that I think always come up in our shows? The fact that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie and some reference to comic books.
And
It just
Prince.
happens.
And Prince. And
And
Prince.
Prince. Comic book. Oh, Eagles update. 10-10. Yes. See, I don't know. My
So
iPhone isn't
here we go.
updating as
Sidney
quickly.
Poitier was the original design for a superhero named John Stewart. John Stewart is
The Daily Show. Oh, sorry.
no. John Stewart is a
Sorry.
superhero Green Lantern. He's there's different Green Lanterns on Earth, and one
Uh-huh.
of them is a black Green Lantern, a black African American man, and his name is John Stewart. And they kind of used Sidney Poitier as a diagram to start off John Stewart back in the '70s when they first introduced him.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Also, there was a young man named David Hampton who was an imposter who posed as Sidney Poitier's son in 1983, and they used the whole scenario.
That was like a real story.
Yeah, and it was an
But from that
inspiration.
story,
Yeah,
of
it was
this guy.
inspiration for the 1993 movie 6 Degrees of Separation.
But now he has actually all daughters.
Yeah.
Right. And a real life guy actually posed as his son and I guess scammed some people on the Upper East Side, and hence the movie 6 Degrees of
Wait a
Separation.
minute. Wait a minute. Santos has some good information here.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Oh, stop. Because you know what? When I was looking through pictures, I saw a picture of him with Diana Carroll and this other little boy, and I'm like, he wasn't on that show.
You
Why is
nasty.
he nasty?
But I'd have done it too if I saw Diana Carroll. I ain't even mad at you.
That's just wrong.
I ain't even mad at you.
You know,
Matter of fact,
one of his daughters actually was on. I was talking before the show. We actually talk.
oh, we did?
Actually, I think we talk after the show too. But I was saying it's neither here nor there. But I was talking about Christian Bell, and her series was Veronica Mars. And actually, the first season of Veronica Mars, one of Sidney Poitier's daughters was played a teacher on that series. I don't think she acts anymore, so I'm not sure.
Well, look, Diana Carroll looks so fine.
Well, I guess it should be spoke Russian fluently, because
if he had an affair with Diana Carroll, she looks so fine. Even his wife couldn't have been mad. I'm just saying.
That's blasphemy.
They're both dead now. Come on now.
But he never married her. Well, that could have been before he was even married. We don't know.
Okay, you know what? And speaking of Sidney
one
Poitier,
piece of information about Sidney Poitier that I know, because again, I have to say, for the show, Kenny actually pulls up information. Of course, his information is a list of not all his movies, but just the ones that Kenny likes. But in that information, he also let me know that he was knighted, and
I didn't know that.
I'm just curious to know, because I know, like, at one time the Bahamas was like
it was
like a British colony, but you know, whether there was any kind of like I'm sure everybody would like love to be like knighted and everything, but I mean, do you really want, you know,
I don't want to be knighted
from your oppressor? But
I don't want to be knighted.
I'm sorry, you don't want to be knighted?
No, I wouldn't want to be.
I don't think you can be knighted. I think you have to be like.
Yeah, I know, but if I was somebody, I wouldn't want to be knighted, because I don't know. I don't want somebody putting like a sword near my neck.
And of course, Sidney Poitier was somebody, and they called him Mr. Tibbs. I love that.
No, the scene is in the heat of the night.
There's something too about the cadence of his voice, and I don't know whether it was because of his background.
I guess it's the way he talked, like when, like in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, where he's like talking to his dad. You got to get off my back, like the way he says it.
It was just like this cadence to his voice that was almost musical, I think. Or
Miss Santos, it does have a nice ring to it. Yes, it does. Sir KP.
Anyway,
Sir KP. Sir KP. Yes, it does.
I agree with everything Miss Santos says and does, except maybe that.
Don't hate.
Anyway, so but yeah, so he was knighted.
Don't hate on me and Miss Santos's relationship. Okay. Leave it alone.
Additionally, he had a star on the Walk of Fame, although I don't know how big an honor that is, because I think people pay for those.
Yeah. In 1994, he got a star on the Walk of Fame. In 1992, he got an AFI Life Achievement Award. Mm-hmm. In 1981, he got a Golden Globe Cecil D. DeMille Award. In 1995, he got a Kennedy Center Honor. In 2009, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Oh, wow.
Because let's not forget, he did a lot of things during the Civil Rights Movement.
Yes, he was very active during the Civil Rights Movement, as were other actors like Harry Belafonte. You know, just using their celebrity, using their fame to advance those causes, which, a lot of people don't do or don't take the time to do. But hey, he did. And I'm sure he had to walk different lines and different things just to make sure, because again, he was like the first actor to win an Academy Award in, I'm sorry, the first actor to win Best Actor, because I mean, prior to that, I guess there had been a winner, because Hayden McDaniel had won a Best Supporting um, Oscar, but he was the first male to win a Best Actor Oscar. Um, excuse me. But so with that, I'm sure carried a lot of weight and a lot of prestige, and people, I'm sure, probably watched and criticized everything he did. But
He
again,
was
by
he was a
by the
guy. He was
60s, especially the late 60s, he had established himself to the point where he could use his fame to help, the civil rights movement.
and he was a guy who didn't have a lot of scandal in his career. It
No,
was not
yeah.
like you never heard any scandal about Sidney Poitier. Like he was one of those guys who like kind of kept his nose clean, except for Miss Santos told us about the affair with Diana Carroll. But I ain't really mad about that.
Allegedly. Do we have
Allegedly, I'm not really mad about
gotta
that.
have
Like
to say allegedly. I mean, we don't
that's
have
okay.
that written down. And, I'm not saying I don't trust Miss Santos, but
Oh, Miss Santos,
if
the
it
first
came from
black
Ed, I
female,
would believe it maybe.
the first black female to win an Oscar for acting a lead role is Holly Berry.
Well, for a lead, but it was Hattie McDaniel, I thought,
She
won
got
the
she got she was the first black person to get for the supporting role. The first
supporting
black
role.
woman to get a leading role was Holly Berry. So you
But has
got
has
Hattie
anyone won
McDaniel.
one since?
Yeah, I know, but you
I
got
know
Hattie
Whoopi,
McDaniel and you got Holly Berry. I mean,
but you probably
pick
could
one.
still count them on one hand,
Yeah, you still count them on here. Yeah, that's true.
you
That's
know,
true.
because I
Um,
think Whoopi got one, but hers was for supporting. But
and
ain't that many?
you know,
Although, oh wait, didn't someone won
and the
recently?
black actors and the black actresses get cheated out of awards, then that's why they got Kanye West to run up there and let you know. I just put it out there.
So, um,
Look,
actually, I think you can count them on your hands and toes. Because now I'm checking the
you're
list
like,
now.
look,
Because it was Hattie McDaniel, Sidney Poitier, he was the second. Luke Gossett got one for An Officer and a Gentleman. Denzel Washington got a supporting one for Glory. Whoopi Goldberg, Cuba Gooding Jr. for Jerry Maguire. Then Denzel got a Best Actor for for
Denzel got
Training Day, which to me,
he got the award. Denzel got the award for Training Day, which
which
is like
again
he played
to
a
me that's
villain, but he got the award. Like,
right. To me, it's almost like Whoopi Goldberg's Oscar too. They gave it to her for Ghost, but they know they should have given it to her for The Color Purple, because in The Color Purple she was acting her off. But since she didn't get it, it was, and same thing for like Denzel Washington in Training Day. Not my favorite
did you
performance,
know that? Did you know
not
that?
my favorite movie of his, but I think because they missed the opportunity to give it to him when they should have gave it to him, you know. Anyway,
Whoopi Goldberg is my celebrity crush.
oh God, not this again. Okay, we got to get to a show without
Whoopi,
Die Hard
Whoopi,
being a
Whoopi,
Christmas movie,
Whoopi,
without
if you're
comic
listening,
books, without
Whoopi, if
the
you're
Michelle
listening,
Pfeiffer, Whoopi Goldberg celebrity
Whoopi, if
crush
Whoopi,
conversation.
Whoopi, if you're listening, I live in Runnymede, New Jersey.
Hey,
I'm Kenny
yeah,
Walker.
she's
I'm
running
55 years
away.
old. I'm lots of fun and I'm funny. Come check me out, baby. I'm here for you.
I don't think she's going anywhere because she's got the COVIDs. So there you go. Anyway, okay, here's another trivia question. Who is the first Black female to win an Oscar? Oh, yeah, we answered that one. That was
Yeah, we answered that one.
Hattie McDaniel.
Hey, McDaniel.
Actually, who was the last Black female to win an Oscar? And that was
Hattie
Regina
McDaniel.
King.
Hattie McDaniel was not allowed any Oscars, and a lot of people were upset about that because she was black and it was the 40s. She was not allowed
She didn't
in
get to
there.
go
She had
to
to go to
the
the back door. And on the set of Gone with the Wind, they actually had she actually became really good friends with Clark Gable. And Clark Gable was that kind of dude, because I think he was part black himself, really. But he was that dude where,
Allegedly.
allegedly, but he was that dude where he wouldn't work on Going with the Wind if they had segregated bathrooms. He's like, no, we're not doing this. So, boom, there you go.
Oh, I did that one already. And there's a speech for Winning for Training Day. He gave major props to Sidney Poitier. And again, that whole idea of not
Yes.
forgetting, like where you came from. I know in an interview I heard with Jamie Foxx, when he played Ray Charles in the movie Ray, there was like all this Oscar talk about him. And in this particular interview, he was talking about how the success he had with Ray and the fame that he was really, I guess, he had went quote unquote Hollywood, was partying and drinking and I get women everywhere, whatever, and that actually he was I guess invited to a party and a dinner party that featured people like Whoopi Goldberg, Quincy Jones, and Sidney Poitier. That basically they basically had invited him in to kind of say, "Look, dude, you're blowing it. Here's- here is what you have to do." Because I guess before you get even nominated or whatever, there's a whole lot of kind of what they call kissing babies kind of stuff, the whole Hollywood game you got to play in order to get a nomination and all that kind of stuff. And basically, I guess old Hollywood kind of corralled up together and kind of pulled him by the
And
shirt collars.
I like
And
that
Sidney
because,
Poitier was one of the ones who talked to him. And
yeah,
in this, actually, it was a long form interview he did with Howard Stern. He told this whole story, about, and he even did it with Sidney's voice, which because
yeah.
he's a good mimic and he can do it, and I won't even try
I
with
like
that
that
cadence.
idea of, like, if I had a chance, if I was an actor of that caliber, and I had a chance to sit in a room with people like Oprah Winfrey and Sidney Poitier and Denzel Washington, and then pull my coattail and tell me, "Hey, this is what you got to do." I'd be sitting there like, "Okay, hold on a second. Let me get my
I
pen
need
and
some
paper.
notes.
Let me write all
Hold on,
this
I gotta
down." I'm writing. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna get my
write this
phone. Let
down.
me put my phone to record, and let me record all this. I'm not losing any of this. Like, I
Right.
want to know everything.
I gotta know
Like,
everything.
I have a buddy in the music business in California, and he gives me helpful hints about my label, and I totally listen and write things down, and you gotta absorb.
Score update
1710.
1710. Just, for those of you, because I know,
Now, what
you're
is
in the Philly area. I
what
know
is
you're
your what
not
is
into football, but
yeah,
there
what
you
is your favorite? What is your favorite Sidney Poitier movie? I'll be honest. I think the first Sidney Poitier movie I seen was To Serve with Love. I
I
think
think
mom and
that
dad take us to the theater for that.
I don't know. I remember seeing that movie,
Yeah, I remember
and I've
seeing it
seen
when I
it
was a
so many
kid.
times.
Yeah. Or did we go with like Lisa and Joanne and them? Joanne and Kim and them.
No, I do remember seeing movies. I do remember seeing Uptown Saturday Night in the theater. Um, uh, Bootsy Thornsworth. Anyway, I'm just-
What was the one where they were looking for and it came out to be one of Nicholas brothers and he kicked their butts? And they would talk all that trash. Oh, what
uh,
was that one? We're looking for what
was
was
that a
it?
piece of the action?
We were looking for, and they were saying the guy's name. What was the guy's name?
You know
Little.
what? What about um? mm, I don't. I was
A
trying
piece of
to.
the action was the one where they was someone where they ripped the money in half for the students that they were teaching.
Mhm.
Him and Bill Cosby. They ripped the money in half for the students they were teaching. They said you get the other half of this 20 or whatever, if you finish the class.
You know what? Probably.
I
If I
got
had
one.
to go with a favorite, What about Buck and the Preacher?
Oh,
Buck
yes.
and the Preacher.
Buck and the
Come on now,
Preacher.
somebody.
So,
I'm like,
Buck and the
everybody's
Preacher.
all crazy about The Harder They Fall, but Buck and the Preacher was the
Buck and the
original
Preacher,
Black
man. That was the,
Western.
you
You know,
know, and Sidney, Harry Belafonte played the preacher, which was he was a crooked preacher.
which
He
again,
wasn't really a
somebody go
preacher.
check on Harry, please.
Yeah, he wasn't really a preacher, and Harry Belafonte did that perfectly. And Sidney Poitier played. I'm gonna watch. I think that's on HBO. I think I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Is that on HBO Max?
It might be on either season on HBO, Hulu, or Netflix. I know it's on something. It might be
And
on Stars. I don't know.
you know what? And I was so not disappointed, but I was kind of hoping that one of the shows, either one of the stations' logo or TV Land or something, would give me like some either Golden Girl repeats or some old Mary Tyler Moore or some like Best of Betty White when she passed away. And I think I got nothing. And I don't know. TMC, Turner
Well,
Classic
I'm
Movies,
still, I'm still, I'm
TCM
still
rather.
laughing. I'm
They need
still
to.
laughing at. I'm still laughing at that Betty White Ryan Reynolds skit from The Proposal, because that is so hilarious.
I think
When she
after the
gives
show
him the,
last week,
when
I
she gives him,
posted
when
it
she
to my
hugs Sandra
Facebook
Bullock,
page.
when she hugs Sandra Bullock, when she gives him the finger on the desk, that's just. He's like, well, look at that right there, and nobody's believing. It looks like a total jerk. It's so hilarious. And but Sidney Poitier, going back to him, um, I think when I was younger,
Yeah, I think
and
TCM should just drop their regular programming and give us some of those classics. Lilies in the Field, To Sir with
go to
Love,
yeah,
A
yeah,
Patch of Blue. Just bang them
they
out
should
back to
drop
back to
everything
back
and give
to
us
back.
all that. Give us the defiant ones. Give us
Yeah, you're right.
give us
It is.
I know Bill Cosby isn't popular, but give us Uptown Saturday Night. Give us Let's Do It Again.
Man, let's do it again.
Let's
Stir
give us
crazy.
all that.
And
Give us
and
Stir
we're
Crazy.
talking about some of the classics, and probably because they were from our youth and growing up, especially those movies from the 70s. But again, as a director, he directed things like or not as a director, but later on, he did come back to the movies in what was the movie? Oh God.
But
It
he
was
did Jackal.
but there was another one that was I thought
He
fairly
did
big.
Sneakers.
Sneakers. That's the one I was trying to
That
think
was the
of.
one with
Sneakers.
River Phoenix, I believe.
Okay, Phoenix was in Sneakers, and there was, excuse me, another one. Oh, I'm sorry, the Jackal.
The
Um,
Jackal, yeah.
okay, Little Nikita. That was the one that. But there was one where they were chasing Shoot to Kill. That's
Shoot to Kill. I remember
that's
that
what I
one.
could think of.
Yeah, Shoot to
'Cause I
Kill.
know.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing that one, and I think I
Mhm.
saw that one in the theater. Or when I see that, I read that video. Shoot to Kill.
That
I
was
probably,
Kirstie Alley, and yeah, I can't
yeah,
remember.
I probably rented that because Sidney Poitier was in it. That's probably the only reason I rented it.
Hmm.
I didn't care about anybody else. I wanted to see Sidney. I didn't care.
Portier.
But Sidney Poitier is one of those actors that, you would want to be. If you're an actor, you would want like when
Like,
Miss
what they
Lavelle.
say, the actor's actor.
Yeah, he's an actor's actor. And when Miss Lavelle, when I was a kid, compared me to like Sidney Poitier when I did theater for him, I was like, wow, I'm not that good, really. I don't know. Is it because we're both black? I don't know, but I'm not that I'm really not that good, man. But because I had enunciation problems when I was acting as a kid.
Enunciation? Did you
Enunciation.
just huh?
And I learned how to
Announce?
enunciate. I learned how to enunciate through Miss Lavelle. So I know when I perform. Yes, Tom Berenger was in that too. Yes.
Oh, Eagles
But
update. I'm sorry. It's
16
getting
to
close.
17.
So somebody couldn't kick a field goal or something happened
It
anyway.
doesn't matter if they win or lose. It really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
It
It
really
really
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
It
It
really
really
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
It
It
really
really doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. It really doesn't matter. It's
You know what I was thinking about earlier today, which I'm sorry, it doesn't have anything to do with Sidney Poitier, but kind of does have to do with this show and this stream and why we do it. Because I think before there was a Facebook, YouTube, or place to go live, we would actually kind of do these shows as a kid as kids anyway when we talked. I remember we did an hour-long visual outside our parents' bedroom door, and we came up with our own song. Remember that song? Do you remember it? Who cares?
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who cares?
Nobody
Nobody knows.
know.
Who cares?
Nobody know.
Oh man, this is when I need a moderator when you get
Yeah, I know.
people
We
in the
need a
stream
moderator
who
sometime. Yeah, I
are
know.
really really spewing some whacked out stuff. Okay. But God bless your soul and keep living. There you go. Let's see. Actor Carol O'Connor co-starred in 2 films with Sidney Poitier, The Defiant Ones and For the Love of Ivy. O'Connor later headlined in The Heat of the Night, which is based on a Poitier film of the same name. Ed,
Yes. Carol
see?
O'Connor, who is no longer with us either, who played the famous Archie Bunker in All in the Family, a show that probably could not air today.
Oh, I know. Speaking of cancel culture. In a way, I'm kind of glad I'm not
Think about
doing
this.
stand-up comedy anymore because in this age of cell phones and
You
just
get canceled quick, and I could be
yeah,
it.
you just and part of comedy is being subversive and
Yeah,
kind of finding
and
that thing that goes against the grain
I
and the
could be a
norm.
stand-up comic
Anyway,
because I really don't care what people think about me. I'm okay with it.
all right. But
You can
anyway,
cancel me all you want
that's
to.
a topic for another day. Today's topic was
But
Sidney
but
Poitier. I think
Sidney
we covered
Poitier.
a lot of his achievements, a lot of his movies, the movies that we loved,
He
the
speaks
movies that
Russian
had special.
fluently. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Ed posted that earlier, and
And
I
he's a
just thought that was
prostate
pretty
cancer
cool.
survivor. I didn't know that either.
Wow.
Prostate cancer survivor. I'm just amazed that he was knighted.
Yeah, that was the thing that
The fact that
kinda,
he was knighted kind of amazes me a little bit, man. I'm kind of like how many brothers can say they got knighted? I don't know.
but I think it is kind of good to know, like like sometimes when famous people or pop culture icons pass, yeah, there's you know a couple tweets, a couple things that people say about them, but I think it is a testament to how you live when people have these nice and positive things to say about you and how you have impacted
Yeah,
people and their careers. The fact that Denzel Washington did pay homage to him in his acceptance speech for an Oscar. That story of Jamie Foxx kind of getting that guidance, getting that kind of, like uh, pull on the coattails. Hey, dude, this is what you need to do,
I
kind of
mean,
thing.
I was reading
Kind
an
of just
article. I was
tells you a
reading an
little
article, and
about his character,
there was
and that
tweets and
character
messages
matters.
from there's tweets and messages from people like Quincy Jones and who's the singer, the rock singer that sang with Prince sometimes, married to Lisa Bonet,
Lenny Kravitz.
Lily Kravitz, and all these other notable stars from different venues,
Hmm.
from different aspects of entertainment, giving homage to someone like Sidney Poitier. It's just, and Elizabeth Halton. I didn't see a text from her, but she's like the last living member of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And
Oh
she was
wow,
actually 1717. She's
70th.
actually the niece of Katharine Hepburn.
Oh,
And she was in the movie Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. She played love interest. One of my favorite lines from Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is
Oh,
when
you're
Spencer
always
Tracy,
giving this to me in a quote.
yeah, Spencer Tracy's character is talking to you know Sidney Poitier's character, and he's talking about like the difference between the black kids and the white kids when they go on like the TV shows, the dance TV shows. And he says, "You can't tell me that the black kids don't dance better than the white kids." And Sidney Poitier says, "Well, you could do the Watusi, but we are the Watusi." And it says so much. You could do the Watusi, but we are the Watusi. And it just says so much because I think one of the things Sidney Poitier tried to do, even though he was set in a lot of movies with opposite white characters to test his racism or to test, racism or whatever, he always prevailed in those cases, um, because he didn't come out like this. To me, like in Patch of Blue, and then Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, he didn't come out like this militant black man. He came out like a man, and just like in one of his lines, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner when he's talking to his dad, he's like, "You see yourself as a colored man, where I see myself as a man," and that was one of that was. Hey Natalie, how you doing?
Nelly.
Nelly. But that was
Principal
one of his
Kelly.
things where he made being a black American male the norm. I guess I'm trying to say he made
Not
it
the
normal.
exception.
Yeah, he's
And
not the
and again, I
exception.
think part of it too was the way he carried himself,
Yes.
that even though in movies like the Defiant Ones, like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, like To Serve with Love, that it had those themes of race and, you know, playing a black character was important, that he also had this, I guess, this ascendance about him, that you saw him, like you say, as a man, that it wasn't
Yeah.
just necessarily a black man. And I don't know whether part of it too was the way he kind of carried himself and that
Well,
cadence in his speech
the
that
way he carried himself made
was
a difference
so
because
precise.
it's kind of like the movie Coming to America, where Eddie Murphy's character was a guy sweeping the floor in the fast food restaurant, and the girl says to him, Lisa says to him, like, you don't carry yourself like other, you carry yourself kind of regal, and that's the way Sidney Poitier carried himself. He carried himself kind of regal to the public,
Mhm.
where he was a class act all the way, and you didn't see him as you didn't call him a quote unquote thug. You didn't call like but he still stood up for black power and black pride. So he wasn't like a safe black guy, but he was a man, and he showed you how he could be a man.
You
Because
know what?
you can take a lot of his other roles, and you can put a white guy in those roles because he played it as a man.
Okay. If you ever do air quotes again on this show, that's what's going to happen.
Wow. Wow.
A black man.
Scooby Life is in the building. Hey,
Oh,
Scooby Life.
Scooby Life.
Scooby Life is in the building. Hey, Scooby Life. Natalie, we miss you too.
Oh, definitely. I was, and again, when I was sick this week, and I was like sitting in bed, and I was looking at this thing, this woman who lives in a Toyota Prius, and not that I'm going to go live in my Prius, but she is with her dog, and they're traveling, and she's doing all this hiking, and she was actually in Idaho, and I was like, oh man, maybe I need to get in my Prius and go to Idaho, but not until the snow and all that junk is gone. And hopefully this summer, maybe I can come out there because I'd love to see it. Scooby Life is in the house.
Live! Live!
Oh,
Regal. Natalie says, like your dad. Are you saying Regal like our dad, or?
oh, our dad is no source.
Yeah, our dad's not. Okay, our dad's not Regal. We've heard him fart. I'm just saying.
Oh God,
I'm
that's
just saying.
TMI. Too much information. Score update. Oh no,
Uh,
Eagles. I mean, but again, and again, Kenny, I know you're not into the NFL, and they lost you when they fired Kaepernick, and I get it. But man, there's just something. I don't know. The Cowboys just need to be beat all the time,
yeah, well,
often,
I will say,
frequently.
even though I don't
I'm
watch
just
football
saying.
anymore, even though I don't watch the NFL anymore, I do think that the Cowboys need to go down no matter what. That's
I've
just
seen her too small for me.
what are you
Who's
talking about,
that
Scooby
Scooby
Life?
like? Oh, the girl living in the Prius. Okay, yeah. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was tripping me out. Yeah, I
You
couldn't
know
do.
what? I want
I
to say
probably could do that
something.
caravan, but I couldn't do the Prius.
I want to
Oh
say
wait,
something.
Dion says something. Birds usually pull it out of their butts in the third. Okay, so in the third, we'll
Okay.
be off the air by the
But
third.
I want
Only
to
in the
say. I
second.
know we're over our time. I want to
Okay,
say
yeah, we
something
got to get out
because
of here.
I was talking to my comic book guy. I have a comic book guy, as you all know. I was talking to my comic book guy, Bill, and I actually took George to my comic book store to meet Bill. And George was like, I might have to make this my comic book store and come out of my way and come here. But anyway, Bill has like an infinite amount of useless knowledge and other knowledge that is useful. And I was talking about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner because he always asked me on Fridays and Saturdays, "What's the show about, Ken? What's the show about?" So I told him it's about Sidney Poitier. And I was
Shout
talking
out to
about my
Bill.
favorite um, um, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and he told me that I always thought that Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were lovers.
I think they were.
He told me they weren't lovers.
Oh,
He
I thought.
said it was a cover up to make everybody think they were lovers.
Mm-hmm.
But Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were both actually gay. And that was a cover up because he couldn't,
Allegedly. Oh,
allegedly, and he couldn't leave his wife. And I thought about it and I said, well, when Kathy was still a comedian, she played a venue that was called Hepburn. That was a gay venue. And I'm
Hepburn.
like, Hepburns, you did Hepburns in Philly.
Oh, I did. I remember that
You did
show.
Hepburns in Philly. And I thought it was for Audrey Hepburn, but it might have been for Katharine Hepburn. And it all came
You're
together
going
to me.
way out on this one. That was so long ago.
Look, Bill totally messed up my day. He totally messed up my day.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I'm thinking they're lovers and he never divorced his wife because they were Catholic and this, that, and the other. He couldn't do it. But he said that Katharine Hepburn was actually his cover up.
Okay, whatever.
And I'm like,
Has his burns mixed up. Audrey Hepburn and Katharine Hepburn. Your burns are mixed up, my friend.
my burns
Your
mixed
burns
up.
are mixed up. That's kind of funny. Anyway.
Your dad carries himself like Sidney Poitier. Nellie thinks our dad carries himself like Sidney Poitier.
Oh, don't tell him that.
Don't
We'll
tell
never
him
get
that.
his head through
Don't,
another
don't even
doorway.
put that up. Don't even put it because if our dad sees that, he's gonna be walking around thinking he's no. Scratch that. Scratch that.
Hey, anyway, listen, guys. This score, I don't think it's getting any better. It's going to be 23-17 at the half. But like Dion said, the Eagles will pull it out. So I know it's
And
supposed to
even if they don't pull it out, it's okay.
it's supposed to
It's
be a
okay
tribute
if they
show
don't pull it
to
out. They're still in the wild
Sidney
card, I think, or the
Poitier,
playoff.
but I can't
It's
help
okay.
but again, in all his forms, as an actor, as a director, as
Dion's like,
a
tell
man.
him it will make his day.
Hmm?
Dion says, "Tell him
Tell him it'll
it
make
will
his
make his
day.
day." No, we're not
Well,
telling him.
he actually does watch. So, uh,
Sydney
we
is a legend. Yes, Scooby Life.
definitely
Sydney is a
is a
legend.
legend and
He's
an
a legend.
icon.
I am going to watch some more Sidney Poitier tonight. I might pay to watch a piece of. Which one
A Patch of
is?
Blue. What? Right.
Which one is the Nicholson
What?
brethren?
It's either it's either
Which one do
Uptown
they get their
Saturday
butt
Night
fixed?
or A Piece of the Action. That's the one where he threatens them.
Yeah, and it looked warm in his
I think
bar.
it was Uptown Saturday
Yeah, I think it was
Night.
Uptown
I
Saturday.
probably would have to look at the credits,
Yeah,
but both of them were directed by Sidney Poitier,
yeah.
and
Both
I
of
think
them.
at the time
He
I didn't
directed
know
Uptown
that.
Saturday Night, A Piece of the Action, and Let's Do It Again.
I forgot about Let's Do It Again.
Let's do it again. Do it. Do it.
No singing.
Do it again.
No singing.
Let's
Stop
do
that.
it again.
Stop that.
Which one were they playing baseball at the end?
Look,
Where Harry Belafonte was the gangster.
don't start because you're gonna get.
And
I'm
one
gonna
of
get
them
them all confused.
and one of them was Jimmy Walker was the boxer that was beating
That was
everybody.
Uptown Saturday night where he was Bootney Thornsworth.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember that name, but it was
I've been watching old Good Time episodes too lately. I've been watching old Good Time episodes lately.
old.
And that's
Damn,
old Good Time.
damn. I'm sorry.
And lately, like they come in, like the old Good Time episodes come in on my feed on Facebook. And the last episode of Good Times where everything happens good for everybody came up. Where Keith's leg is all of a sudden better. JJ gets a good job. Everybody moves out of the ghetto.
It's kind of like that. Isn't that what messed up Roseanne when they went from being poor to all of a sudden
That was all a dream. That was all a book. When they got rich, and spent all that money, that was all. So they haven't.
They haven't had I think they do an episode, like a live episode of Good Times.
Yeah, they did a live episode with new actors.
I didn't watch it, but I know that was part of.
I know James Amos came on a live episode.
Oh,
and
wow.
He played Alderman Davis.
Oh,
but if I remember correctly, he messed up his lines.
Oh man,
because like, you gotta remember though, James Amos is like old. He's old.
Dag, you have no mercy. So do
James
we have to
Amos,
check on him?
James Amos,
when we're checking on Harry Belafonte.
Yeah, James Amos should not be on a live show. He can't remember what he did 5 minutes ago, much less his lines. Okay, he's almost. Yeah, I think he is almost 80. He might be over 80, James Amos, but he was younger than Esther Roll during the series. He looked older, but he was younger, way younger than Esther Roll when they did the show because Esther Roll has passed away. But yeah, James Amos, he messed up his lines. He was not good in this at all. James Amos needs to do straight to film work, movie work, where they can edit and cut. He cannot do live TV. I love him. I love James Amos. But
no live TV.
No live
yes,
TV.
I think that was recently, Ed, and I believe the NBC
it was in the last year or two. It was the last
Yeah.
year or two. If they did a Good Times live show, because they what they do is they do these live shows and they cart Norman Lear out there because Norman Lear is like 95, 96 years old.
So go check on Norman.
Check on Norman, please. Check on Mel Brooks. But they
well, Mel Brooks actually, I think, just wrote a book.
Mel Brooks is doing a History of the World show on Netflix or something like that or Hulu.
Oh, not
he's
like
doing a History of the World. He's doing another part.
History of the World Part 2. Because I'm telling you, History of the World Part 1 is like one of my favorite comedies.
Where you from? Ethiopia. What part? 105th Street.
Do you know who
Wacky
Mel Brooks was
sweetest.
married to?
Wacky sweetest.
Do you know who Mel Brooks was married to?
Yes.
And do you know what film she directed?
What?
You Ain't the Only.
Oh, Fatso. That was he was married to, what was her name? I know her because I loved her.
Oh, come on, that's an easy one.
She was married
You
to
don't even have to Google that. Hey Google. Hey Google. Hey Google. That story was the best. If you missed that story, please go back and watch the beginning. You could check us out on YouTube because I don't know whether you could watch the beginning of videos on Facebook, but on YouTube, if you go
Wait, what
to
is her name?
K-Walk
Who's he
Comedy
married
on
to?
YouTube.
Who's he married to?
Oh,
What was her name?
let me do the plugs and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
But then it'll pop it in the comments. Also, be sure to check out Kenny's website, KennyKPWalkerJr.com, so you can find out everything he's doing, including his positive and productive message every single morning. You can find that on Facebook. He is also
Hold on. I'm sorry.
a part of Words Out. What? I'm doing the
I
plugs.
took the website down. I'm making a new one. I'm making a new one. I took the website down. But make sure you check out my YouTube, Kenny KP Walker, spoken word artist. My YouTube, my video for Unbroken Spirit is over 7,000 views.
And there is a link in the description. So if you haven't seen Unbroken Spirit, check it out in the description.
Share it with your friends. And do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube page. I'm going to have more content.
And we'll put a link to his YouTube page in the description. I think there is a link to the video, but he is also starting his own spoken word label. Words Out.
I like that.
I do things like that. So
I like that.
Do things like this on YouTube, Facebook, or other things and want little graphics, hit me up, DM me, let me know, and I will do things like that for you for free because you're my friends, you're our pop culture kids, and we hang, and that's just what we do. That is just what we do. And this is what we do every Saturday night, 8:30, hang out for an hour. We talk pop culture.
I need to know what you thought about the Fast and the Furious.
But to me, was it not Point Break with cars?
You clearly did not get what was going on in that movie.
What?
You clearly did not get what was going on in that movie.
Fast Break with Cars.
It wasn't Fast Break with Cars.
You can always support the show at the link below. Buy me a coffee / K-Walk Comedy.
I'm just saying it wasn't because
show.
you know in the last movie, they went into outer space. And they destroyed it. And they destroyed.
I was just basing it on the first one that you forced me to watch. I did watch
the other movies. You gotta see the other movies after it, and it's more than just Point Break with cars. It's just a lot more. It's a great little thing, and it's a great action movie to sit and chill to. And like I said, the last movie, they destroyed the satellite. They drove a car. They drove a car into space. They drove a car into space and crashed it into a satellite.
That's just why.
And wait a minute.
What?
The rapper Ludacris is one of their people on the team of Fast and Furious, and he was the one that crashed the car into the satellite.
And Ludacris also sounds like the plot.
You just don't get it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good night, folks. We're here all week. Try the
veal.
I couldn't even think of the line. Hey, listen.
We're all week try the veal.
Yeah. Next week we talk some of the movies that are coming out in 2022, what we're excited about, what we're looking forward to. So please consider coming back and joining us. If you're here with us tonight from Facebook, from YouTube, please consider giving us a like, a share, a subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. We would really, really appreciate it. Okay, yeah. Make sure you check out the links in the description so that you can check out Kenny's video, Unbroken Spirit. We're giving another quick Eagles update before we go because it's just what we do. And it looks like 30-17.
Wow.
Yikes. All right.
Somebody's about to get spanked.
Yes, we're getting a spanking right now. Yikes.
Somebody's about to go cry home to the mama.
Yeah, it's getting ugly out here. Guys, thanks so much for hanging with us. We will see you. Good night, Natalie, Scooby Life, Santos for coming by, Dion, our dad in the house,
Ed
Scooby Life. We
Brown.
appreciate all of you guys.
Ed, wait, hold on. I would say his name right. Ed Diehard Brown.
Ed Diehard Brown. All of you pop culture kids are amazing and awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next Saturday night.
God bless your soul and keep living. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.